What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. Shifted gears a couple times since the last time I uploaded anything. I don't think you guys have seen this car before. I've had it the whole time, but it wasn't here. Another 92 SVX, like the black one. Got lofty goals, lofty plans for this one, so you guys hear it for a second, so I don't have to carry you around. And so yeah, Merry Christmas. It's coming to you on Christmas Eve, a very mild Michigan Christmas Eve. Basically, it's 52 degrees outside. It's about perfect. I'm trying to gather the will to want to work on anything. I've bought a donor car, 30R donor car, after I sold my 30D swap WRX. Sold it to a friend of mine. He wanted it. I didn't want to sell it, but he wanted it, so I sold it to him. And, we're moving on to another project now. So no more blue H6 WRX. We've got a different vehicle in the works for that. As far as like track toy goes, this is the forever car, I guess. Kinda? I don't know. We'll see. You know how things go. But anyway, so this car right here is auto still. 444 auto swapped. So it's a bit of a survivor that's been used. I don't know where it came from. It's clean. Right now it's dirty because unfortunately I had to store it outside. Haven't been driving it. We thankfully have had a super mild winter, and it hasn't had too much, outdoor exposure in the cold. But so we're in the garage now, and so the plans, my lofty goals for this car are restomod, right? So people don't really like these cars. They normally take the engines out and put them in something smaller. Why I bought one originally. Well, I bought that black one to get back and forth to school, but I knew that I'd be able to swap that motor into something else eventually if I wanted to, and that's what ended up happening with a different motor. I found a junkyard motor, and I made a Forester EG33 Forester, like a 2000. So. And anyway, I digress. So this thing is pretty dang clean. I bought it from a guy up in the Lowell, Michigan area. I don't know where it came from, other than a couple very small dents and dings, which you would expect after 30 years. Roughly. This thing is pretty dang good. Like, it's dirty right now, but cleans up nice. I went ahead and polished up the headlights and bought some eBay or Amazon blue tint, and I actually kind of love the way it looks on the silver. So that's going to stay on there for a while, if for nothing else, to keep the headlights clean. We might change that down the road, but anyway, restomod, right? So 30R or 3.6 swap. I'm hunting down a 3.6 right now. There's a guy on Marketplace that's got a pretty good deal on one. Those things are commanding quite a bit of money, and right now what I'm trying to wrap my head around is the engine management side of things, right? So I'd love to have one engine management unit that I can move between vehicles. I can't drive more than one car at a time, and if I can have different base maps for the same ECU, that would be awesome. And then I could just have all the vehicles pinned similar at the ECU connection, and then it can go to whatever engine connections it needs to. So that's kind of the game plan, roughly. Things change all the time, so I don't want to go on and on too long about what's going on, but I needed to update you guys, I guess, a little bit about what's happening. If anyone's even watching this, maybe down the road someday somebody will want to do something similar, or they'll just want to kill some time and watch a video about some dude in his 40s wrenching on a car in its 30s. But anyway, so yeah, this motor's coming out. I'm going to put this motor in the black SVX that we were playing with before. That car does have rod knock. You know, it's lived a hard life. I wasn't good to, well, I was good to it while I had it when it was my daily, but once I built the Forester and I built the Subaru, like that thing never got driven and it got neglected. And anyway, that motor's old and tired and I beat on it for a long time. So still runs, it just doesn't sound great. This one, on the other hand, sounds just fine, runs just fine. Just need to yank this motor out in preparation for manual swap, in preparation for engine swap. So I have a 444 5-speed for this car that came with it. I don't think I want to go that route. I think I want to pick up a 6-speed for it and, you know, buy once, cry once on that, and then do the 30R. Standalone, air ride, and we're good. Well, you know, that'll be it. Hopefully. Put some wheels on it, right? Enjoy it. Tint the windows. Like, it shouldn't be, I don't want to wide body it or anything like that. I'm not a body guy. So, anyway, that's where we're at. We'll see how much this makes it into the video. So here's the underhood of this car. So the silver one's pretty dang nice, like stockish, right? All original still for the most part. I don't remember what the mileage on this car is. It is 136,000, so you know, reasonably fresh unit depending on how it was cared for. It's been converted over to R134, which is kind of sweet for a 92 to like still have functioning AC, which I don't think that it's charged right now, like, but it, you know, it worked at one time, which is pretty cool. Don't do this. Yeah, see, there's something in there, but not enough of anything. But yeah, so I'm happy with the chassis, right? I don't like silver. I take that back. I like silver on cars. As far as an SVX is concerned, the two-tone is not my favorite thing. This isn't the worst color, in my opinion. And this is actually a really good example for, well, at least for this area, for these cars. But yeah, the silver's good, but not as good as the black. I think the ebony mica is the color, or maybe the claret, right? There's a couple of really good colors there. But anyway, silver's not bad. I think it just makes the body gaps stick out a lot. And even though they're not terrible, right, that for a Japanese car from 92, it's just, and the black hides that better. Hides everything but dirt better as far as but you know, anyway, this thing's been good. Like, the 444 is failing, right? So just like the original transmission, it probably had 100,000 miles when it was swapped in. I don't know exactly anything about the swap. I didn't do it. It was swapped when I bought it, but it made the drive from Lowell to GR and then from GR to Hamilton. And that's a good long hike. But once I was driving it around locally, it, you know, started failing basically. So it's, I don't even think it's got third gear anymore. I think we just have first and second. Like when I drove it here, I couldn't go much over 35, 40 miles an hour because that was the top of second. But anyway, this motor's coming out. I know people are going to be like, why? Well, because it's old, man. Like, I just don't want to deal with maintaining this engine. Rebuilding it? Maybe. You know, turbo motor? Maybe someday I'll have money for something like that. That'd be cool, but like, I'm not going to keep my hopes up. I'm just going to put a more modern, resto-modded engine in it. And I think that's cool. Like, that's what I want to do, is modernize the car as much as possible and make it super reliable and clean, low, and just tasteful, hopefully. So, you know, by putting the 30R or the 36 even in, like, I'm going to pick up real estate, right? These engines fit in these cars just fine. You could sneak an intercooler in there probably somewhere and still be fine without modifying things too much. You know, maybe the bumper. But when we put the 30R in, like, you can basically, I don't know, a couple inches lopped off of there. Basically, this whole timing belt assembly, it's going to be back here. Like, if that's where the head is on a 30R, like, you can tell, like, by just looking at a 30R that it only sticks out to, like, boom, there. So then you've got an extra ton of real estate for a better radiator, better cooling, moves the engine back, right? Everyone's complains that the engine is forward of the axle line on these cars, on a lot of Subaru stuff. So it effectively moves the center of gravity back, not down anymore, but more towards the center of the vehicle or over the axle. So that should be good, right? And then we're losing weight with the auto to manual conversion. Not a ton. Those manual Subaru transmissions, especially the 6-cylinder or the 6-speeds, they're not a ton lighter than a 4EAT is, because those things are turd small. But anyway, just wanted to give a quick look around, you know, check out the car. So, you know, that's what we're working with. It's a good base. Okay, so this is where we're at now. That time lapse, if it makes it into the video, short, you can't even really tell what's going on, I guess. But basically, I was just pulling the radiator cap, pulling the top hose, draining the fluid, disconnecting some emissions control stuff, pulling the air box, pulling the battery, and then I was under the car. So this thing has like a rudimentary EGR system that basically it only ties into the one manifold. So you get what is it, 136? I'm sorry, 135. So cylinder 5 exhaust port has a pipe coming out of it that, you know, goes into the EGR system, which will never get used. So I just, you know, after struggling with that for a minute, which is why the camera just sat there filming nothing for a minute, because I was looking for the right tool to try to remove that. I just cut it. You know, you're going to weld that shut. Anyone who uses the manifold and the EGR, OBD1 EGR stuff, it's just looking for the resistance value of the EGR system itself. It's not actually monitoring, you know, flow. So anyway, so we've come this far. I've got all the manifold bolts out, and on this side anyway, and then I gotta pull them on this other side, and I'm gonna pull the lower radiator hose on this side, and then probably just yank the whole exhaust out or down, and then we'll probably just pull this motor and trans as one. I don't see a point in separating them in the car. I know that it'll come out as one unit because I've done it before. So I think that's the game plan. Because this chassis, this particular car, isn't going to see another auto, as far as I'm concerned, unless you know, I kicked around the idea of doing the 30R with the 5EAT, you know, to keep it automatic, but with a decent automatic. The 5E-AT is no slouch. Well, you know, you can't build a ton of power with it, but as far as daily driver stuff or just cruising around, it would be perfect. But you know, if you're gonna do it, you got to do it right. So anyway, not gonna have an automatic in anymore. It's going to have manual transmission. So we're just gonna pull everything out and then separate it out on the floor. And then I got to figure out. I don't want the trans. I got to get rid of that. And then probably just get rid of the 4.4.4 5-speed too. Try to sell as much stuff as I can and get the 6-speed. But anyway, that's where we're at.